All right, good morning, all. Today is February 11th, 2023. I have a new project. It is this lovely '06 Corolla LE. We are doing the whole shebang on this one. Let's have a look here. Turn you around. So, we are going to be putting in this Scar Audio 8. We've got a 350 watt Scar Audio amp, Scar 6x9s for the rear deck, and Scar 6.5 for the front doors, and a deck I've never heard of. Looked at the specs though, and it looks like it should power everything. I mean, it's a budget build. The kid's in college and just need a little extra something in his car, like we all do, and yeah, so he's running a track meet today, and so while he's at the track meet, I'm gonna throw the stereo in for him. I did his brother's vehicles a while ago, and worked on his grandpa's truck, and so they bring all their vehicles to me, which is nice. Yeah, we'll be. Let me show you what we're replacing here. So, just the old standard deck, nothing special. It does have speakers up here in the sail fin there, so we'll we had to go back and forth on which tweeters to put in there, but I think the Scars will fit. Plenty of room in the trunk. That 8 is going to just be drowned out in there, but it should sound pretty good. That trunk's nice and big, and I believe his seats fold down, so he should be able to get a little sound into it. 6x9s, I haven't checked. I'm hoping they're bottom mount, but if not, I guess we'll pull the rear deck off. Let's see if we can see this. And nope, no such luck. So they're top mount. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So I'll do my normal video formatting here, come back as I work on it and make progress. Some things I'll film. I'm getting a little light flare here for some reason. Yeah, I'll be back. Well, it'll be instant for you, but it'll be a while for me. So as I get things set up, lay out a plan, maybe I'll involve you guys with some of that. So, be back. Okay, I'm back. I've done a little bit here. We're starting on the radio. I got the radio out. That was fun. Let me turn you around and show you. So, there's that. I had one booby trap, and that was this door. It was already broken one time and somewhat repaired with, looks like, some tape and maybe some super glue. So now I get to figure out how to fix it. I don't know if I'll have any better idea than super glue. So geez, I'm lighting in here this morning is rough. I got the door closed because it's kind of cold out, but okay, so I'm going to try and position you guys here so you can watch me put this thing together. We'll see how it goes. So bear with me as I get everything positioned. I got too much junk on my workbench here, so it's kind of turned into a catch-all, and that looks to be all right. So we got to put this kit together, and it's got some screws, it's got some instructions here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, it's not much. Take screws, insert, put together. So it looks like it's got some little fellers here that go into this spot. And I can't find my long bit for my cordless, so by hand it is. Ash, put a rag down or something. This is a tile workbench, or it's the just flooring tiles, but pretty scratch resistant, but better safe than sorry. Let's see, grab another little screw here. Oh, they're so tiny. And I'm not coordinated. Fat fingers, damn it. It's so awkward. All right, let's put the screw in first. Let's try that trick. There we go. Oh, for goodness sake. I'll try and keep my cussing down. My hands are sore. I started playing hockey again, so my hands are a little sore from shooting pucks. That's better. Okay. We got the radio. Not a bad little radio. Really light chassis. It's got just some simple front and rear. Rear out is on this side, front out is on this side. Antenna. That's it. No steering wheel controls, none of that stuff, which I don't think he has in the car. No, he doesn't have steering wheel controls. So, and it actually fits up pretty nice. I'm kind of genuinely impressed with this kit. So we just got the basic screws on the side. We'll figure out. Kit came with a bunch, so it looks like they're coarse thread. They all line up. Nice holes all line up, real nice. Yeah, not too shabby. I'm pretty impressed for kind of generic stuff, but you don't always have to buy the name brands. You can find these off brands and have good luck with them. I want to say he paid probably $59 for this radio, and I mean you are going to get what you pay for sometimes with interfaces and things like that. So or with how these radios interface, and here screw holes on the side aren't grabbing like they should. Let's try the screws it came with, or that came with it. Better get this one out. Doesn't like those screws. Let's try these screws. These little Ziploc bags. God dang. That's how you open them. These look a little wider. Yeah, they are, because they're too wide to go through the little slit in the kit. But they grab the radio nice and tight, so that's what's important. One of these days I'll figure out how to get a camera view from my angle so you guys can see this firsthand from me. I just don't record enough of these videos to make it make it worth buying like a GoPro or something like that. I don't do enough videoing. This is just off my, I think I've got the S21 or S22 Ultra, the one with the really nice camera, 110. Now, so that might turn into a problem. As well, you can kind of run the knob, you get a good grip on it, but this plate kind of gets, but not bad. I mean, same basic shape as the factory one. So let's see here. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, I'm getting a phone call from Scam Likely. Okay. Yeah, a little improvement. Looks like it's all gonna fit. Perfect. Now we will move on to the wiring. You know, some a-hole didn't tear the top off of this bag. I could put the screws back in it. Yeah. Teach him next time. Okay, so the radio did come with this trim ring. We don't need it for this application. It also came with side mounting brackets. Throw all that stuff back in the box. Comes with instructions, some warranty stuff, and a remote. We'll keep the remote out and throw the rest of it into the box so the customer can keep it. I'll probably throw the remote on top of the box here real quick so we don't misplace that either. I'm going to set this off over here. Okay. Radio, set that aside. And don't want to solder on top of a rag. That would be bad. Okay, so these are the wires that came with the kit. Looks like we got one plug dedicated to the rear speaker wires, and we got speaker outputs. We got power outputs from that, or for the radio. Not much to these harnesses. We got a ground. We got our front left, front right, ground, ignition, constant 12, remote turn on / power antenna, and illumination. We don't have illumination on this one. We have a power antenna output from the radio. We'll tie all that together, and then we're going to give ourselves a little piggy tail off of this that's going to go for the wire out to the amp. So I'm going to pause you while I grab my supplies, because I was not prepared right now to wire, so give me a second. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that music in the background. I don't want to get in trouble with any YouTubes or TikToks or whoever this platform this thing's going to be on. We get rid of all this lettering we know what these wires are. So we got standard colors. Let me get my soldering gun going. I think I've said this before in my other videos. I like using these big guns. They heat up fast and they shut off. I don't have to worry about knocking them over, leaving a hot tip going, because I'm clumsy and that's how accidents happen. So if you want less accidents, don't be clumsy. The only thing I wish I had this, so my plugs are, I got an outlet strip up here. I want to put one right down in here, or in this general area, my workbench, so I can plug in down here and not have this cable going over the top of me. But that's a future me project, so. Okay, let's do this speaker wire here first. So we've got our front, we got our lefts and rights. It looks like they got them divided up by, so that's cool. Actually, not pro tip, just a tip. Before you strip your wires, put your heat shrink on. Makes it a lot easier to put it on there. I pre-cut my heat shrink. It only took me about a minute to get all my supplies together. I'm actually somewhat organized when it comes to that. Okay, so put all our heat shrink on first before you strip the wire. Make sure I got them all on there. Yep. And I like these little GB strippers. I've gone through a few pairs of these, and actually, they are slick. They actually pretty cool. You know, for a generic radio, they did some nice. They already they kind of pre-stripped them, but they weren't separated like you see on this. You know how you got the gap. I was wondering why it was stripping so clean. That's cool. Good job. All right, let's just start with these purples and greens. I always like to do the black stripe first, so I know that I got it right. And in these scenarios here, or with these wires, the stripe is actually negative. For whatever reason, in the car audio world, we use the negative. We put a stripe on the negative side for speaker wires, and on your subs, if the wire has a stripe, it's usually the positive wire. So it all depends on what your application is, or what your speaker wire size, I guess. Oh, come on, you stupid. It was up there high enough. Okay. Ooh, she's smoky this morning. Just have some leftover. So, get her soldering in there. Then we'll move on to the next one. We won't heat shrink until the end, but basically twist the wires together like that. Nice flat. Should have my helping hands out here. We'll just do that. Press the trigger, heat the wire up. If you notice the glitch there, I had a visitor out in the garage, so didn't need to hear our commentary. All right, do the purple wire next. Just kind of rinse and repeat. And probably to save time here, I'll solder this one up. I'm gonna hit pause on the video, and I will come back when I've got it all complete. Because honestly, if you've seen one guy solder, you've seen all guys solder, it seems like. So I'll be back. Okay, a little probably instant for you guys, but got all my wires soldered up. So the harness is gonna lay out just like this. Okay. Now it's time to heat shrink everything. So let's get all of our heat shrink in place. Didn't even look to see if I got you guys on camera, or got me on camera here. So yeah, we'll and I like to get my heat shrink all in place before I start heating them up, because you can get a little you don't want to start heating the heat shrink up, hit the other pieces, and shrink them in where they're not supposed to be. So I like trying to get them all lined up, and then kind of give them one good hit with the torch. See if I can get you. Get them to kind of stick into place here. Even on the lowest setting, this torch puts out quite a bit of heat. This heat shrink I'm using is actually marine grade heat shrink because I only bought one kind. But I like it because it's got glue in it, so it helps keep moisture out, plus just holds things together. So the illumination wire, we're just going to trim the end off there. We'll leave this in the harness because if he gets another radio that has an illumination and we swap it out, then the wire's still there. I've got plenty to attach to. So it'll be hidden in the harness though. This end, we'll put a little, this is for the remote turn on for the amp. So we'll have a little, leave that pigtail sticking out. But the rest of this is going to get all taped up. So these plug into the back of the radio. Let's see, like that and like that. So we're going to tape them up this way. Start a little bit further back so we don't put tension on the wires. I'm using interior Tessa tape because this is on the inside of the vehicle. Some folks like to use the exterior stuff inside. Personal preference, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that, just as long as the harnesses are protected. So now I am going to split these up because I believe in the car they're split a little bit. They're split apart a little bit, so we're just gonna do it like so. We'll go back. And just like that, we've got a harness. There. And there's our harness for the car. Yeah. All right. So that took about, I think in real time, I mean for you guys it was almost instant, but for me, maybe 5 minutes, I think. It wasn't that hard. This is pretty basic stuff. So, all right, I'm going to go back in and do some planning here because I gotta pull that whole back seat out. I think one to run my wires to the back. I gotta pull the bottom of it up, but then I pop the seats down. They do fold down, and there's a whole plastic piece around the back, just like my car, like my Nissan, that I gotta pop out to get that rear deck out. So great. All right, I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. It's been about probably 15 minutes, I think. I fought wrestling this stuff. Let me show you, flip you around here. Okay. Fairly simple. You just lift up on the bottom seat. That thing, I don't think it's ever been taken out of here. It was pretty tight. I vacuumed up quite a bit of pine needles and mess. So there's the 6x9s. They'll be getting those out. Had to go and had an injury timeout. Cut myself on some piece of plastic in here. So now that I've got the interior out in the back, we'll get those 6x9s installed. And you know what? Let me pause you for a second, and we'll box them. We'll unbox them together. All right. Normally I save the speakers for last, but since I've got it all accessible, we'll do it now. Well, it comes with stickers. So you got Scar Audio sticker. I recommend, although stickers are cool, I like stickers. I like when companies provide stickers. The crappy part is it's just free advertisement for thieves, so they know what's in your car. So I recommend not putting them on the outside of your vehicle. You're just asking for trouble if you do. Alright, pretty decent packaging. I know there's Scar haters in the web. This is equipment that he picked out. I'm just doing the install. I'd not sell this to him, although I have been pretty impressed with the Scar product that I have installed. And I had one issue with an amplifier for a customer, actually this gentleman's brother, and they took care of him, so can't complain. It comes with a grill, and looks like the grill would, the metal grill pops out, so you put all the screws through and then you snap it in later. I'm not a fan of that. These tabs in the back that hold the grill in, you have to kind of tweak the, you're not always able to you can't get to the back side to bend them over to make them tight, because you screw through the plastic that's under the grill. So these will rattle, or can rattle. I usually, if I have to use them, I'll take and I'll put like a bead of hot glue or something in the inside. It may screw me over later if I have to take them out, but it keeps them from rattling. And that's, if you get throw any type of base, or even the base from a 6x9 would be enough to get these things to rattle if you don't make sure you got them tight. So just a tip for future. Yeah, so not bad, pretty deep. We'll take out a one of the factory ones and I'll compare it. But yeah, rubber surround on the magnet, pretty beefy. It's got a nice stamped metal basket. It's a 120 watt RMS, 4 ohms. So got a little filter on the for the base blocker for the tweeter. So it's got a tweeter in the middle. So it's a two-way. These will be a definite improvement over their factory ones. So that's I guess anything over those paper cone factory speakers is an improvement. So being that now his radio says 240 watts, not the size of the wire it's being fed. So that radio may struggle to push these, but it may also just be enough. It's really hard to tell sometimes with these when you're just playing off a radio and then you got a little 8 in the trunk or something like that. I think it's gonna sound pretty nice when it's all done. But I'll try and find some music that I can play so you guys can hear it. Although, microphone on the phone picking up isn't the same as being live, so you may just have to take my word for it, because it seems like every time I add music, regardless of what how short I play it or whatever, the YouTube takes it down or TikTok takes it down. So when we get to that point in the video, we'll get to it, I guess. Figure it out. All right, I'm gonna get back to pulling the 6x9s out of the back, and when I get one out, I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like compared to each other. All right. Did a little investigating here. Let me show you what I got here. So there's the factory one, pretty skimpy. There's the aftermarket Scar. Yeah. Problem is, I want to use the factory bolts. Look how far apart they are, and the holes do not line up. I do not have anything that I can use. The holes hit metal. I mean, the Scar holes do hit metal. I just do this part-time. So like I don't have the supplies that I, would have on hand, like plastic and stuff like that, where I could just make myself a template real quick, router it out and be done. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to frickin' just screw these down to the deck lid. I don't like it, but I'm going to have to do it. It'll still sound good. I'll still put my foam around it, rubber gasket as best I can. Nice part is, this is the factory plug. It plugs in on top of the deck, so don't have to worry about figuring out what's positive, what's negative. Damn it. So sometimes it is what it is. You just gotta slap them in. I don't have adapters. I looked through my kit, old plastic ones. I got some old Pioneer ones, but they got a riser on them, like 3/4 of an inch, and it's just gonna stick the speaker up too high, I think. So I don't think I can use them, but I'll chew over this a little bit while I do some other things, and I'll come back and let you know what I found. All right, I'm back. I did a little bit here. It's probably been, probably 40 minutes, I think. No, not even. It can't be. 30 minutes, tops. All right, let me show you what I got. Oh, let me grab a light. Okay. So I put the 6x9s in just with with screws. The foam actually sealed around them pretty good, so actually turned out pretty good. So no adapters needed. Still got the back seat out because I'm gonna run some wires. I got my wires ran for the radio. I got the radio in, and it turned out pretty good. Not bad look. Snapped right back into place. Got the passenger airbag switch or light plugged in, so I'm not sure if it's going to throw a code, and I want to do some testing. I got to glue that piece back in on this that broke. You can see it's been glued before. In fact, they spilled a little bit. But the two things of glue that I are no longer liquid, so got to get some glue. Got to run to the store and get some glue, but I'm going to finish this up first. That's going to be a future me problem. So, yeah, next up is I'm going to run the power cable through the firewall. I'm going to throw some Tech Flex on it first, and then, yeah, I got 4-gauge Tech Flex over there. Yep, looks like it. Make a mount. Let's see where we're going to put this. I have plenty of room under here. I don't know where I'm going to put the fuse holder. Might make a bracket. I do have some plastic that I use. I might come off of from under here and just have it make a little stubby thing sticking out here, or maybe come off of this bolt right there. It's I don't like these, but it's what I've got. It's the, this type A&L fuse holder. It's not very weatherproof. Although it doesn't look like water's a problem underneath this thing. It's more dirt, but yeah, thinking maybe right there. Maybe, yeah, see, I can't really go there. It's so damn big. That's the problem. I think my best bet is just to make a bracket that comes off of here in this. Well, see, then I gotta worry about the hood closing on it. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I might just, maybe I'll do something that pinches underneath the, this is pretty tight. I can make something that clamps on there. Yeah, I might just use this as a clamp and clamp it down. So, yeah, that's the things you got to figure out when you're doing these stereos. So, I'm going to put you guys down for a few. I'm going to get some wires ran, do the Tech Flex thing. You guys have seen Tech Flex, but get put on a wire before. I like doing that personally, because then I know the wire's protected throughout the car. Although I route it properly and I don't, run it against sharp edges. You just never know, and it's just better for a peace of mind anyways. So I'd hate to get a call from a customer saying, hey, my car burned down because of the stereo you put in. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, it's been a minute, probably 60 or so. Let me give you an update here. I'll just turn around. Okay, that's I gotta clean off some of the excess super glue, but it's fixed for now till the next schlub that goes in there and breaks it. So little super glue I bought looks pretty damn good. I was able to put the spring on it and everything within a minute, but it's still messed up from the previous person that fixed it. Okay, I had all my wires ran neat, and then I opened the amp or the box for the amp and found the bass knob wire, so had to undo things. But
So I've got the amp mounted underneath the deck lid, and I got some spacers on it so you got nice airflow above it, and it clears those two little humps. Let's get up there maybe, and kind of get, yeah, see? I'm gonna run my power cables and everything around and over, so it'll look nice when it's all done. I got some, probably use some tape to hold all that stuff up, but I got the that wire now, so I'll run some wires. And yeah, I gotta put the back seat back together. Gotta do the front door speakers yet, and got the radio in. I showed you that earlier. I got my wire ran. I love it when a car is supposed to have a clutch, but it doesn't, because it can go right through. It's hard to see. I got it going through the firewall where the clutch was, all tech flexed up. This is where it's going to come out, and I'll have my fuse holder right here go off of that nut. So it'll be short run. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, I gotta get going here and figure all this stuff out. So putting an amp upside down in the trunk sucks, especially when you're fat and out of shape and old. But yeah, I'll come back here in a little bit. I'm gonna do the wiring and everything. I'll show you how that all looks when it's tied up, and then I'm gonna put the rear deck lid back on, start buttoning things up in the back, and then I'll get the doors last. So I did try the radio. It does sound good. So it's $59 radio. It works. It sounds decent. We'll see what the subs do and how that all sounds. Not much options for tuning or anything like that, so we'll have to use the amplifiers, crossover points and everything. I got super glue on my finger. That's gonna be fun later. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 40 or so minutes. I've got the car button back up. Let me show you where I'm at. My customer is done with his track meet. He's about an hour out, and I've got to do the front doors yet and hook up the battery and tune the amp. So, oh, and put the dash back together. That's a quick one. All right, so let me show you what I got going on. Okay, so trunk's back together, amps up. Everything's tied back. There's a cable there that I'm securing to. But these things don't move, so it's okay to rub there, or rest there. Got everything in. Found a spot for the bass knob right there. You can adjust the way it's driving. I'm going to leave it about 3/4 when I tune it. That way it gives him a little bit extra. Gives him a little bit extra when he wants to. If you got a song that's a little low on bass, he can adjust it as he's going. It's an 8, so although his brother's got 2 of these in a Scar Audio bandpass box, and they thump. I was very impressed. So this one might do the trick. Don't know, but we'll find out when I'm all done. All right, so I'm going to make up my fuse mount. And then that part's done because that's going to be a little fabrication. And then door speakers should just be swapped. So I'll be back. All right, it's been about an hour. I'm done with the front doors. It's one of those cars where I had to do what I had to do to make it work. I don't like it, but I'm going to show you anyways. This is the passenger side. So got this nice cavity here. It's piece of foam there. You just knock the foam out. It's just sound deadener or something like that, but good spot for the crossover. Got my wiring. That is the old speaker. I had to do the old leave the speaker in and just gut it and use it as a template or as a mount, because I don't have any material to make a template or an adapter, and I don't have any adapters. So, and it's also riveted in. But it's solid, it's in there secured. And the tweeter fit right in the factory mount, and it just fits inside this little sail fin. It centers right in there, so there's just one mounting screw on the back side, and that works pretty slick. Just did a polarity check with my polarity tester, and my back speakers are backwards. Which doesn't make much sense, because I had the The tweeter on this thing is, it had red and white wires to it. And so I thought red was positive, black's negative. And I followed that pattern up front, and it was working. It was perfect. Did the same thing in the back. The speakers in the back, the positive and negative are red and black. So I did the same thing, and they're backwards in the back. So I think they're backwards from the factory, but we're gonna make it right because it's gonna sound funny if it doesn't. So yeah, I'm gonna button this door back up. Customer's already stopped by once. I'm gonna give him a call when I'm done, and I gotta put the sub in and tune the amplifier, and yeah, do some testing and call it a day. Oh, I got the mount for the fuse holder. That's solid. It's pinched underneath here, so if they have to change the battery, they can just disconnect it and they just wedge it right back underneath there. So it's plenty strong. I got a screw and a nut from the bottom. There's a screw going through the nut there. Simple. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do finish up on the door and finish up what I got to do, and then I will try and come back and show you guys what it sounds like. Right now, it doesn't sound too bad. I'm just playing the radio through the, just a radio station, but that's pretty clear. So I'll be back. Okay, boy, I got an update for you. It has been probably 2 hours, I think. Yeah, at least 2 hours since I checked in again. As you can see, the customer's car is gone. He got here. Just as he got here, I was testing the system out, and I closed the driver door, and all sound shut off except for the subs. Subs kept going. That was really weird. I wasn't like, if you open the door, it was fine. Door open, which I'd been testing the stereo with the door open the whole time, which may change how I do things now in the future. But I closed the door, and as you were closing the door, it would shut off, like someone was getting pinched in the door. And so I had to pull the door panel back off, and I pulled the door panel back off. All my wiring I never touched any of the wiring behind the speaker or anything like that. I unplugged the factory tweeter. I didn't even use the factory tweeter wiring. I fed the crossover with the wires that were going to the woofer in the door, because there was a base blocker on the tweeter, so it was just a full range signal going there. So that's what I did. And it was the weirdest thing. I thought maybe the door check was hitting something, so I took the door check off the door frame, and so it would move with the door. Now when you open the door all the way, like even further, it would shut off. It would just, and it was, I mean, a minute little bit of movement, and that thing and the stereo would shut off. I scrambled. I was befuddled. I did not know what it was. So to save you guys me rambling for another 10 minutes on how the hell I can figure it out, turned out the last test I did, like if I disconnected the crossover, close the door, open the door, didn't matter. The stereo kept running. If I disconnected the woofer, I closed the door, it would shut off. I disconnected the tweeter, and what did I do? Oh, I disconnected the negative side of the tweeter because I want to take both wires off. I'm like, okay, I'll just disconnect negative side. Close the door, and as the door is closing, the tweeter started playing. And I looked down and like, okay, I thought maybe the wire had touched again. Nope. It was getting a ground from, okay, so I disconnected the tweeter because the tweeter was mounted. This is the factory tweeter. It's got that little hole in the middle. That's how I use it. I screw right in the middle. And I used one of the Scar Audio screws and everything, so it wasn't too deep. If the mount was metal and it used the two of the mirror bolts, I loosened it, closed the door, was fine. As soon as I tightened it, then it would fail. This is the craziest thing. So I isolated the tweeter with double-sided tape. I just mounted it with double-sided tape. The customer's cool with it. The little sail panel holds it in place just fine. Double-sided tape's going to hold it forever anyways, but weirdest damn thing. I've never experienced this before, but yeah. So I've been sitting here just racking my brain trying different things. I thought maybe it was a bad crossover. Yeah, that was exhausting. So mentally and physically. But that's that right at the end too. That's what sucks. But anyway, I wish I could have shown you the end results, but the customer had to go. Needed his car. Thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't give you the finished product and everything, but it looked good. It sounded good. Geez, that I couldn't have played any music for you because it would all gotten taken down or whatever or muted. But it for 1.8, it moved the mirror really well. I mean, there was air coming back with the seat down. You could feel some air coming back. Yeah, I was impressed. 350 watt amp on it. Not bad, Scar. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Maybe I'll have him send me a video or something, and I can edit or add it into the comments or something like that. But thanks again. Have a good day or night or morning, wherever it is when you're watching this video.